If you don't like the weather in Idaho, just wait a minute. After having a couple of inches of snow over the weekend, I needed to get up here and finish the roof. It was about 26 degrees when I got up here, but as soon as that sun creeps over the hill, everything warms up. I got on the roof and swept the remaining snow off just to accelerate the drying process, and I also took the ice shield up and placed it where it would get direct sunlight. Now, because this is the peel and stick ice shield, I went as far as keeping it very warm all weekend. I didn't want to wait for it to have to warm up and therefore stick to the wood. The good news is everything dried out quite fast. Now technically code only requires that I have ice and water shield on the lower 36 inches of the roof, but because I'm somewhere between a 212 and a 312 pitch, I knew it would be a good idea to put the ice and water shield all the way up the roof and even transition into the side of the house as well. Now the idea is that with both the addition roof as well as the main house roof, that the corrugated tin is not really doing as much as the underlayment is. But that being said, if I can keep the snow and the rain off the underlayment, I'd like to do that. Because I choose to reuse that old tin that has holes in it, I'm trying to take the steps necessary to make sure that I don't ever have any roof leaks. The old tin that I removed from the shed that was being torn down was actually not in that bad of shape, except for the fact that it wasn't very flat. One of the dangerous things about reusing this corrugated tin is the fact that it oftentimes goes down in a way that's not square, and if you're not careful, you'll end up having more at the top and less at the bottom hanging over at the end. As I lay this stuff down, I reuse the holes from the existing nails, and every second panel I measure to make sure I'm staying square with the house. I suppose the upside to doing a metal roof as well is if I ever felt like it was not serving a good purpose anymore, I could easily take it off and throw some new stuff down onto it. But I feel confident in what I'm doing, and using the ice and water shield, I'm certain we won't have any issues. Now up here at the ranch, we're 1,000 feet higher than in town. Now in town, the engineering is required for a 60-pound snow load, but up here we're required to engineer for an 80-pound snow load. A couple of years ago, we had about 4 feet of snow in just a couple of months, followed by a whole bunch of rain, which actually got under the snow and caused a lot of damage to roofs around town. That was the moment I decided I would over-engineer the trusses and make sure that if that ever happened again, I would be okay. This corrugated tin is probably more for looks than anything else, but still, it's good stuff. We're getting up against it now with the weather. My phone tells me we've got 3 days of snow, although I trust my phone about as far as I can throw it when it comes to weather. But still, I gotta get the roof dried in, get the Tyvek wrapped around the addition, and then get the windows put in, so then I can focus on the other pressing matters. Once the Tyvek's around the house, it really doesn't matter what the weather does. If the weather does hang on, I'd like to try and get the siding done, but that's up in the air right now. Now, after giving it some thought, both myself and Cedar have liked the idea of doing a stucco stone around the lower 3 feet of the house, both for protection against moisture that might splash against the house and also to break it up a little bit. But I like that old corrugated tin so much that I showed my wife some pictures where people have used tin for siding against the lower few feet of a house, and it looks really good. So I may end up using that old corrugated tin that I got on the lower 3 feet of the house instead of that stucco stone. And I guess truthfully, I'd feel better about using that tin than I would that fake stone. I still need to get the shed built. There's now enough snow on the hill that I may not be able to get my truck up there, so I may have to haul it up there with the excavator or with the four-wheeler, but I've got to get that finished. That's the last big project I need to get before the winter really sets in. Once the shed is built, I will still probably finish the front porch, and then it's plumbing and electrical and drywall from there.